Hey everybody, it's Akiobu Joe, and I wanted to show you guys what I've been doing lately. The last update that I did was my Hobonichi weeks with a Stalogy cut down to the same size, which would be this size. And like it is literally the exact same size. As the Hobonichi weeks. And that, I mean, it was okay, but I have really big handwriting, and I found myself reaching for my B6 size Stalogy because I had more room, but the B6 seemed like a little too much. Like I needed something in the middle, and I thought about trying a B6 Slim, but I realized after watching Spellbound Notes, she has a YouTube channel and an Instagram, that this gallon leather cover that I've had all along and I bought for my Hobonichi weeks is standard size, and it's way too big for the weeks, and that's always bothered me. That's why I keep moving out of it. So I was like, you know what, I have an A5 Stalogy. I'm just going to try it, put it in this cover because I already have it, and see if I like it. And I really, really like it a lot. So I have gone down the standard size rabbit hole. This is a cover from Bassy & Co. They have a website and an Etsy shop. I bought a Hobonichi Weeks cover from her probably 2 years ago now. And it's very like rugged leather. It doesn't have like a luxurious feel to it. It has a more of like just a durable feel to it. And I wanted to get black and purple, but their purple leather was out of stock, so I got the wine, which is actually like a deep purpley burgundy. I would say it's closer to purple than it is to red, so that was just perfect. So let me show you guys what I have going on in here. I put my Hobonichi Weeks right in the front on a string, but I have it in a clear cover on cover, so the string is behind, I don't know if you can see, behind my notebook in just the clear cover on cover, so I don't damage the spine. And because this leather is so firm, it holds its shape even though the Hobonichi Weeks leaves like this gap. The leather doesn't cave in. So having the weeks just like this doesn't bother me at all. But like I said, Spellbound Notes, her YouTube video, her most recent one, I think, she had her Hobonichi Weeks inside of this gallon leather cover and in her standard TN. So this cover does have enough room for that, but because the leather is so like stiff, I don't feel that I need that. I do have two other covers on the way. One from Horan Leather, and that I would imagine is going to be similar to this in the fact that it's like durable and really holds its shape. And then I do have a Moterm on the way. I really haven't had the greatest experience with Moterm, but the standard size companion, it's called, from what I've seen, seems to be what I'm looking for in floppiness and not like stiffener and all of that. And I think there's a good chance I might have to put my weeks into this little gallon cover and then put that on the string in my Moterm, because if that's floppier, I could see that kind of annoying me. But from what I've seen, those Moterms can hold a ton, and I only have two things in here, so we'll just have to see. It's still in the experimental phase. I just have a little pocket over here that holds my stickers and a yearly calendar. And then here's my weeks. This is vellum that was gifted to me from Zombie Kitty Co. Super sweetheart, and hooked me up with a lot of extra goodies. So I have black kitties, so I had to put this on here. And then there's a piece of acetate that I think is from a babe box forever ago from the Honeybee shop. And then my weeks has been the same. I've just been using it consistently here. Getting to the actual weeklies. So just doing my thing. Experimented a little earlier in the year with trackers and whatnot, which just isn't my strong suit. So yeah, this is just what I've been using for years now. It works for me. It's not the most exciting thing in the world, but that's what my Stalogy is for. Like, I can dabble with different size Stalogies and journaling, and that is where the excitement can come from. My weeks doesn't have to be exciting. It's just super functional, and that's how I like it. And then in the back, I haven't really been doing a whole lot, but when I do use it, I'm using like a running, just like a list, and I'll break it up by the day. So that's that for my weeks, and I just keep my essentials back here in the cover. Oh, and for a pen, I have the Zebra Sarasa Dry in the 0.4 in a Zebra Sarasa Grand pen body, because they're just heavier, nicer. They feel like more luxurious to write with them. And here is my Stalogy. So these decals here are from Zombie Kitty Co. Again, she is so generous, and hooks me up every time I place an order. So I thought this was a nice quote, considering that I use this a lot for journaling. Family pictures here, and then just like a sticky dashboard. And this vellum is also from Zombie Kitty Co. And then we just jump in. This is a freebie from Brooke Ava Prince, and she has these every month. They're beautiful, they're minimal, I love them. So there's May. I taped this in. This is another freebie from Brooke Ava Prince. I just have to copy over from my Hobonichi weeks in case they get split up, because I might not keep my Stalogy and my weeks together forever. I might upgrade to a thicker Stalogy. I also have a Tomo River standard size weekly insert on the way that could replace my weeks if I like it enough. So this is how I track my symptoms, like when I get my period, migraines, recently a little chest pain, things like that, excuse me. So yeah, I'll just have to copy this over from my weeks, but this is from a freebie from Brooke Ava Prince as well. And then here I just did a weekly. If I keep my weeks in here, and or if I really like the weekly insert I have on the way, I'll probably stop doing this, because there's no point in writing it twice if I'm going to keep them together. But I did have this just in the gallon cover on its own for a while, so I was writing my weekly just so I always have it with me, and then just jumping into my dailies, and drew out a monthly here, just using my favorite colors, purple, black, and gray. And yeah, I've really been liking the size. I've always thought it looked really awkward on camera, but in person, I like it a lot. It's just like when you're in a ring planner and you print at like 110% to get like your pocket size inserts to fit into Pocket Plus, or even like Pocket up to A6. This just feels like a Hobonichi Weeks that you've printed at like maybe 125. It's very similar in proportions, but it just gives you more room, and I really like that. So this is a vellum from the Crescent Planner, very dainty and pretty. And here's the freebie from Brooke Ava Prince. And my June calendar. Today is my 7th wedding anniversary. Love it. It has flown by, but at the same time, I feel like I've known this man forever. And we only met 8 months before we got married. So it's just like an interesting feeling. But I have to marry my best friend, so I'm very fortunate and very, very happy. We love odd numbers, so the fact that it's year 7 is like more exciting than year 6 or year 8 will be, like in a weird, quirky way. So yeah, this is a very wonderful day for us. And then here's my weekly. And I have decided, instead of jumping right into my dailies here, I'm going to do what I was doing in the back of my weeks and just do a line here with like a running task list, because the way that I use my weekly or my Hobonichi weeks is I plan out appointments and meetings and like must-dos ahead of time. And then as the week goes on, I'll add in like, oh, this day I have to pick up my prescription, like date specific tasks. And then everything else is just kind of like whenever I get to it, or I will backlog things that I did as a little bit of memory keeping. So my weekly isn't super full because this is really just the essentials right here. But like cookout at 3 p.m. Anniversary plans we made, and my gratitude page I did not make yet. So that's not day specific really, it's just stuff that I had to get done. So this will fill up throughout the week just like it does in my Hobonichi weeks. And I believe this little like lined separate thing might be from Randy.plans. I am not familiar with that person really. I don't think I follow her, but I've seen somebody else do it and I liked the way that it looked, and I believe that's who that person credited. It's hard when you get through like the chain of inspiration, especially in Instagram stories when they disappear after a day. So I believe that's where that is from. And then this just top bottom frame, I believe I saw that from Mod Plans and I liked it a lot. I used to box things in and I liked that look, and then just all of a sudden I didn't. And in my weeks, I was only using horizontal lines, because I make my lines bolder. So like here, I'm only using horizontal lines and then a vertical when I absolutely have to. I'm not framing in the edges anymore, and I stopped doing that a while ago. Yeah, it's been 2 months maybe. Yeah, I haven't done that in a long time, and I like, yeah, oh, apparently a really long time. So yeah, here is where I had it fully boxed in, and I just wasn't liking that look anymore. So I believe it was Mod Plans I saw in her Stalogy that she was doing just this top bottom frame, and I love it, especially in this size. Like it breaks up like before you hit the edge of the notebook, but it doesn't make it seem like zoomy framed in, if that makes any sense. So yeah, I like that a lot. I'm trying to give credit where credit is due, because I personally, when I hit a planning funk or a journaling funk, I just reach out for all the inspiration I can find. I love to inspire other people, and I love that people are always putting out content and inspiring me and others. So I want to give a nod to those people when they inspire me. So hopefully I got all those names right. Again, I would write them down and be extra sure, but it's really stories. I feel like Instagram is very little posts nowadays. It's story, 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 which is awesome. But unless it gets saved to highlights, which I don't ever remember to do that. I can't expect other people to. It's gone after 24 hours. And when you're mindlessly hour after hour just watching stories, it can be a little hard to remember where everything comes from. So that is that. This is the Bassie & Co. cover, like I said before. I've just got my little reference thing back here and some extra stickers. And I have it tucked into this little like secretarial pocket because there's no need for it to be on a string. It doesn't fall out or anything. And if I get a clear cover for it, which I know some people will take an A5 and cut it apart and like cut it down and put it back together with packing tape, that's an option. But I think Lauren Phelps Designs has a standard size in the works, so I'm gonna have to keep an eye out for that. It's very exciting. And if I get one, then I might throw it on the string and do what I did with my weeks and just put the string in the clear cover so that it doesn't mess up my binding here. Now, my Hobonichi weeks only ever, even a Mega Weeks, only ever gets about an inch thick. I haven't really seen how warped it can get as far as durability, but I have seen some Stalogies that are nuts. Like, they're so thick, and that spine, the binding, is so warped, and it's still holding up great. So, I know that it could probably handle being put on the elastic, but why tempt fate? So that is what I have going on here. I've got the pen that I use for my weeks in that pen loop. I've got a Tombow here that I'm using in my Stalogy. I had to wrap some washi tape around it so that it wouldn't fall through the pen loop because it's so skinny. And then my pen here, this is a Acroball refill, or an Acroball ink refill thing, but just that I found like at a grocery store or a drugstore. I think I love the Acroballs, and it's in a acro, some sort of acro body from Jet Pens. So if you look up Pilot Acroball, click on the refills that it takes, and then click to see what pens can go in, those refills can go in. These will come up. I'm sorry if that's not, that it's not more helpful. But you just kind of have to click through Jet Pens and see what will fit where. Because it's a metal pen and it looks a lot nicer than what the Pilot Agriball ink actually comes in. Actually, here's one. Like, it's just like a plastic. This was a breast cancer awareness edition, which is nice, but I'm not a pink person. I'm not really a plastic person. So those you can find in a lot of just regular stores. So because I use that in my Stalogy, I clip it next to my Stalogy, and this bundles up very nicely. I like this cover a lot. There are a few things that I would change. Like if I was going to order a second one, I would probably ask for the snap to be moved in a little bit. It's kind of close to the edge, and I would move the pen loop up. I love Gillio and I love Vanderspec, and they overall I think I like Vanderspec better, but I like that Gillios are in stock, and I like their layouts for their Apuntos and whatever. Customer service is better with Vanderspec, but whatever. I'm getting off on a tangent. However, I like where Gillio puts their pen loops. They're up a little bit higher because I usually just hook my pen with the clip, and if the pen loop is too low, then the pen's going to hang down below the end. Where Vanderspec typically tucks them behind the strap. So in that sense, I've gotten very accustomed with my Gillios over the past few years. Those have been primarily what I'm using, having my pen loop a little bit higher. So functionally, this works great. Those are just some little things that I would change now that I have one and I know what to ask for next time. But yeah, that's my setup. Nothing too crazy, but I'm loving it. And this feels really good in the hand. Even though this cover is wider than I probably need, especially if I get rid of my weeks and I go down to just that little Tomo River paper insert. This is made to hold a lot, like of a full year Stalogy plus my weeks plus like a wallet insert. This could handle easily. So it really could be narrower like this here. This gallon cover is more the size of like the Traveler's Company covers. So even though this is a little bit wider than I technically need, it still feels very good in the hand, especially for summer. Very nice. Whereas my B6, I like the dimensions for like keeping on my desk, and I like that it really looks like a book, more traditional dimensions. But for carrying, especially in the covers that I have, it is real heavy, and the dimensions are just like they're hard for my smaller purses that I want to use in the summer. Just a little bit too wide, which when I put it in my purse makes it a little bit too tall, and it can be hard to zip. So at least for summer, I think I'm feeling pretty good about the standard size, which is weird. Those words feel weird in my mouth and coming out of my mouth. Like I said, I always thought it looked very awkward on camera. Like in other people's hands, it just looked like a big checkbook. But I think what it is for my own preferences, the Hobonichi Weeks is a weird, it's weird. It's a weird, skinny little checkbook of a thing. But I've gotten so accustomed to it, even though I spent so long being like, this is wacky. Like, why isn't it a little wider or a little shorter? Like, why is it so tall and skinny? I've used it for so many years that I've just gotten a feel for it, and a feel for it like in covers like the Slim Puntos from Gillio and the standard codexes from Vanderspec, and it's just a very like compact, nice, skinny feel. And like I said, the standard size is like if you printed the HoboWeeks at like 125%. It's very similar. It's just a little bit more. So it feels natural in my hand because I've gotten used to the unnaturalness, if that makes any sense at all. I've grown accustomed to the weirdness, and I like it. It works for me, and that's really all I need. I just need a place to write shit down and try to hold my life together. So for right now, this is where I'm doing it. I have parked my B6 Stalogy. It is on my desk in a little dust bag. I'll probably go back to it. I don't doubt it. But the one thing that has remained constant with me for better part of 2 years at least has been the Hobonichi Weeks for planning and the Stalogy for journaling. Sometimes I plan and journal in my Stalogy, and the size of my Stalogies vary. I've got pocket, the Hobonichi Week size, standard size, B6, A6. When you can cut down your own notebooks, you can turn them into whatever you want. So, I do have all those options. I will probably hop around a little, but for right now, I'm really liking this, and I'm excited to get my Horn leather cover and my Moterm cover. So I'll probably do a video of those, just comparing them and showing you what I have going on once I get those in and once I get my weekly insert. So thank you for stopping in for this update. I'm sorry that I don't post videos as often as I used to. For the most part, I felt like this past year and the pandemic and all that, teaching from home and trying to manage all this stuff, and like the worry and the anxiety, I felt when I was in it like I was doing pretty well. But now that we've come out of it, I really wasn't doing as well as I thought I was, and it has taken its toll on me. And I'm really just trying to meet the requirements of my life and take care of myself. And unfortunately, a lot of the time I'm consuming more than I'm putting back out there. But I promise you guys, whenever I'm feeling up to it, like today, and I have the time, I will, or something to say, I will be here giving back to the community, putting some out there for everybody else, because I know that, you know, your hobbies can be what saves your sanity in a tough time. And especially when your hobby involves journaling, um, it's important to stay engaged in your passions, and sometimes that takes a little inspiration from others. So, thank you to all the people that I mentioned here in this video who inspired me for this setup. Um, and oh, also Starstruck Plans, I believe is her name. She's a similar cover to this. I think it's a little different. Her pen loop looks way cooler than mine. She must have had the foresight to request something that I just didn't. But she has a very similar cover, I believe, from what I can tell. I think her strap is narrower because I did request that this be widened. But she made me remember that I had a Bessie & Co. cover for my weeks that I've had tucked away forever, and that it's a nice rugged feeling cover for whatever this summer might bring. So shout out to her for reminding me of what I had in my own stash and inspiring me to jump in and support a small business. So thank you guys for watching. I'll be back hopefully soon. I hope you guys are staying safe and healthy and sane. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.